we went to Congress and we said we've got a problem in terms of capital and banks. We've got a systemic event. We're facing the collapse of a finance system.
I think the single most important thing we could do right now is a very large fiscal stimulus.
I think it's particularly important that the fiscal stimulus be linked to the country's long-term priorities around infrastructure, around energy.
The program starts in this room at 8:30, and we'll have a series of quick 20-minute issue briefings from subject matter experts in each of the 4 areas that all of you will participate in.
We're in a situation in 2009 where each of the major developed nations, Europe, the US, and Japan, will contract.
Without recognizing that the higher the cost of health care today, the more the uninsured are, and therefore you've got to address both.
Look, we're not talking about an ordinary recession here. We're talking about something which is very severe.
The beginning of this year, the estimates for the growth in world oil demand were 2.1 million barrels a day at the high point. I think that we'll find when we are in our breakout group that there are a lot of question marks about what it will be.
The breakout sessions are really the centerpiece of the day. Each session will be moderated by a senior editor from the Wall Street Journal. We want you to take a broad-minded approach to identifying what need to be key priorities in the next administration. Then we come back in the afternoon. You'll get the top 4 or 5 priorities that came out of each of the morning sessions. The co-chairs of each group will report back the top 4 or 5 priorities that came out of the process in the morning. All of you will have an opportunity to comment on that and discuss that. We'll have senators in senior policy positions responding to what they hear from the CEOs. There are a couple of things we can do here. We can write in must be greater than $300 billion unless someone objects to that. If someone objects to that, we can take a vote, or if somebody thinks $300 billion isn't enough, you can stand up right now and make the case. At the end of the day, we will have another vote in which you will all be able to rank the priorities from all 4 of the breakout sessions in the morning to see how they rate against each other. We have a 1 to 9 rating system that enables you each to express your preferences among the different priorities, and we'll see which ones rise to the top. Come back at 6:30. Rahm Emanuel will be here to look at the priorities that have come out of the day's work, to give some response to them and engage in some give and take with the audience.
This crisis provides the opportunity for us, as I would say, the opportunity to do things that you could not do before. The good news, I suppose, if you want to see a silver lining, is the problems are big enough that they lend themselves to ideas from both parties for the solution. And I'm glad to see that your second principle is an educated workforce. You cannot be in an era of where you earn what you learn and have both our education system from K to 12 as well as our access to higher education, and I'm not just talking about 4-year, but also community colleges. That needs a fundamental overhaul that is the bridge fundamentally to the future.